what is witchcraft? And what does witchcraft offer that is different according to servants of Satan, The Age of the Witch Hunts by Joseph Klaits? Witch hunts existed long before Judeo-Christian faith and will continue after any end of them. What we do know is that witchcraft is an immoral rebellion to conservative societies, wrapped up in a moral indifference, or even a new morality. When I was young, I watched Joseph Campbell say something like, "Everything is evil to someone, you participate in it." When I was in college, I watched the Dark Mirror of Magic VHS, where the Church of Hermetic Sciences founder, Carol Poke-Runyon, speaks of what people consider as what is evil for one person is interesting and challenging for another. This challenge and what people thought was possible produced cults in hopes of achieving it. In a world of negative, unpleasant, dangerous, and forbidden experiences, it was only natural that people would take part in what would give them a sort of control or direct response to these. Let's not be fooled into thinking that mere alternative lifestyles, less common interpretations, or being a minority makes somebody a witch, though. Christianity may not have been the majority faith in Europe for most of its existence, but the previous faiths tended not to tolerate devil worship and the same types of deeds they want to encourage in modern society either. This can be used to punish groups for a minority of members offending. And of course, there's difference between sin and sin as part of blasphemy also. I would not say inquisitions and wars are ever needed to address differences in spiritual paths. Witchcraft did tend to take the control of drugs and mystical techniques to the populace that has usually been in the hands of professional priesthoods that served the elite. Witchcraft offered a sense of self-acceptance or coven admittance for both the mentally ill and those with extraordinary abilities of mind. It offered alternative medicine with the connection to beings that either relate or tried to relate to the situation. It offered use of sexual and other physical feats that there may not have been a context for, according to the rest of society. It didn't offer the wealth people generally talk about, but people continue to make degrees of a standard or supplement income by selling rituals and faith in their products. I am not saying that we can necessarily prove that it uniquely offers any of these things, but Satanism is a variety of beliefs and practices. Gregory IX thought that a witch needed initiated via part human creatures and sex with people that a person would never have been allowed to marry. But let's be real and admit a witch might just be open to animal powers and honest about their lust with themselves. We find that if somebody was jealous of you, you might be a witch. And it also gave you ability to be critical of the government. If you just wanted to be contrary, even if you just wanted to be contrary, and it gave an openness to dreams and visions beyond visualizing church art and stories. Since Colossians chapter 2, verse 3 through 8, and other biblical passages would lead you against philosophy that's not explicitly in line with the founders of Christianity, at the least. Many will turn to witchcraft to engage in the freedom of mental processing. Emotional and sensual freedom is also something Christendom was keeping people from. I would understand if it was the beliefs or practices that were condemned, but the thoughts, emotions, and feelings that arise in life too, if beliefs and practices don't violate rights, who are we to interfere with that either? And by rights, of course, I mean of fellow creations. You know, if God wants us to worship him or something, it's not something to force or however you're going to phrase that sort of thing, right? Some wanted the witch to bleed or go through hardship, as in some of the more severe offerings and trance-inducing operations. But no one can have the experience you can have with your own efforts. The witch represented both consent and less common physical features, hardships, and weirdness. Upon one, may be harmless to others, but it may be entertaining and a source of power. The Benandanti, good doers, were considered especially powerful with part of their amniotic sac still on them, usually on the head, thus showing that the witch is more than just of negative or harmful ways, but of positive and beneficial types too. Many churches still don't care what effect it's had. All beliefs and practices not sanctioned by them are as evil and ignorant. There are those who engage in all sorts of sin and blasphemy, but in reality, the witch uses what they have of their ability to express their freedom in the spiritual covenant around their own personal system of law are those of the incorporeal devils. Interaction with them, or those perceived to be them, has influenced and changed our systems of government and society, as it will continue to do. And you notice that flag there that I have there, that I've imposed on the graphic. I don't mean to say that you know, I changed that for a reason. I stand by the phrase that is what witchcraft or Satanism really is at its core. And you notice by one of the things I brought up here that, yeah,